Strike three.
Ever want to watch two things that are on at the same time? Well, now you can, because Sony's revolutionary Betamax deck, which hooks up to any TV set, can actually videotape something off one channel while you're watching another channel. With Sony's Betamax, you won't miss a thing.
A triple play. You've just seen a triple play.
No, I didn't.
You don't see those very often.
Saturday night, good movie on Cinema 78. Elizabeth Taylor is in it. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night.
TV8 presents Cinema 78. Tonight, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton.
Tomorrow, Jerry Lewis stars in another...
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today's game is brought to you by your Chrysler Plymouth dealers. See the...
And this time is one of his most unsuccessful footballs. After a 31-yard punt return by Rick Church, it'll be 1st and 10. He's going to show you why right here. Tremendous body control, evades some early people, and then turns on the speed. Upchurch, of course, one of the premier return men in the league, gets Denver good field position, 1st and 10.
The NFL champion Oakland Raiders take on the Los Angeles...
Welcome back to NFL 77. Brian Gumble along with Mike Adamley. We've got a lot of action going on here in Week 12. Of course, at the half, Denver out in front 14-7. But look at this going on in the state of Florida. Chicago, Tampa Bay, nothing at the half. Tampa Bay, of course, trying not to make it 26 straight. Walter Payton being held...
Color Sentry. Think of it as a TV control room in your set. It controls the color picture, corrects the color picture automatically, 30 times a second.
Phyllis and Irv, if Abe Gibran pulls up...
Kick off the new year with two outstanding balls.
Take a look now at the snow derby across Ohio, and I really mean that, weather fans, to see where the snow has accumulated. And looking to the top there, 11 inches at Detroit, 16 at Toledo. To the south from there, Findlay, 13. Mansfield has 10. Officially at Hopkins, still 13. That 12 below our 13 is the Akron-Canton report. And still the derby winner so far, Kirtland Hills in Lake County, 30 inches of snow. 14 is up around Conneaut, and that 24 inches in Pennsylvania represents the area from Pymatuning Lake right on through Conneautville and Meadville, Pennsylvania. The current conditions now, after a high actually early this morning of 37, we have 3 on the shoreway. Officially at Hopkins, they are just 1 above. The wind chill, 42 below zero. That's the way it has been all day. Humidity 91%, barometer 30-34. That is very high, but we're still getting flurries because of an area of low pressure aloft. Wind is west-southwest, 18 plus 30. Liquid content to the snow, 0.09. And good pollution, again, if there is such a thing as good pollution, 37 today, 40 there tomorrow. TV8 color radar, not picking up anything in the way of significant snowfall. 37-1 today, 33-14 a year ago. The Lake Erie water is 39. And here is how those temperatures have sagged as of 11 o'clock. 2 degrees at Hopkins Airport now. We've got some cloud cover actually holding in what little heat we have. Yet Akron, Canton, and Youngstown are both at zip. Erie has 4, -3 at Toledo, ditto Findlay. Mansfield a -2. It looks like the -3 is the winner so far in the cold aspect of it all. The thing I'm concerned about, trough of low pressure over Lake Erie, and it looks like things are dying out. We've got a flurry at Akron, Canton, one in the city, another one down at Cincinnati. So often when you think the thing is about over, early in the morning you get this swing of the trough across from Lake Erie and you wind up with some snow. Well, bear that in mind, and we'll get to the forecast in a minute. Sunrise 7:42, down tomorrow 4:58. Satellite today revealing the line of clouds in the southeast. That represents at 1 o'clock the leading edge of that very cold Arctic air, and Ohio again under a heavy cloud deck. Quiet, mild down here, rain in the northwest, same old story. Low pressure here, a small one, may be important to us before we get through the weekend in the way of some snow developing tomorrow night. I would think a better chance perhaps early Sunday morning. We could get into snow from this. At this point, it looks like it would be a light fall, but stay apprised of the latest forecast over the weekend. Currently, low barometer, that big one that zipped up from Illinois and Indiana through Ohio into Michigan, is now up in the state of Maine. The line of low pressure I'm talking about is right here, and right now no big deal, but it could swing in early tomorrow morning and perhaps drop some accumulation before this high comes in, and may give us some clearing before tomorrow is through, but a very cold Saturday. Winds may go west-northwest. They've had a hard time shifting to the northwest, but at 20 to 40 tonight and through the early part of tomorrow, chance of a local squall yet tonight, the low 0 to 10 below. And for Saturday, some flurries. Could have a squall again early in the morning, and it'll be bitter cold. The high tomorrow only 12 above, with a wind chill factor, I would imagine, from around 20 to 30 below 0. Sunday now, and this could begin late tomorrow night, some snow, with a Sunday high now, I'm figuring at 20. Monday, cloudy, chance of a flurry 25. Tuesday, cloudy, 30. Some snow developing before Tuesday is through. And right now, Wednesday, snow, and 32. I hope you have a good weekend, and again, don't forget to feed the birds.
And it looks like a weekend for indoor activities, Dick. I definitely am going to stay indoors. I know about that, unless I have to maybe get out and shovel a little snow or something.
No way.
But Jim is off tonight, and Fred is sitting in, and we've got basketball scores, major league trades here with snow all over the ground. We're talking about baseball.
Big baseball trades. I've already got my prediction wrapped up as far as who's going to be in the World Series.
Wow.
We'll tell you why when we come back.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Chuck. What is that?
Oh, that's my new hearing aid.
Hearing? Chuck, listen, they make hearing aids now that are so small you hardly even notice
Yeah,
them.
but they cost a fortune. I got this at Uncle Gaylord's. Only cost $6, and it works okay, too, I'll tell you.
Oh, what kind is it?
About $11.30.
From high atop the Television 8 building, in the best location in the nation, on the shores of beautiful Lake Erie, it's the Houlihan and Big Chuck Show.
Here we go.
Heights, we'll have a live report.
And we'll soon all be shelling out a bundle to bail out the Social Security system.
Details in a moment.
This is News 4, Detroit.
Good evening, a double-bottom report, Bob.
Wesley, people here are calling it a miracle that it wasn't worse, but it was bad enough. 2 firemen and a woman were injured as the tanker burned out of control between two service stations.
Check that weather. Here is Sonny Elliott.
On a somewhat brisk and bracing kind of evening in downtown Detroit. I think it was Pierre Pamplemousse who wrote a very beautiful song entitled Love Walked Right In While You Were Shaving Your Legs. He's the one who says, take your attorney to lunch, and he'll take you to the cleaners. Take a storm center the likes of which will throw a drowning man both ends of the rope and move it into Minnesota over the weekend. And over the weekend, it looks like we'll have a drab and somewhat dreary, damp kind of weekend coming up. The only nice thing about it is the high-pressure system sitting out here over the state. Well, it's just moving into Virginia tonight, and it's just struggling along like a ballet dancer with a bunion. It'll be moving out just off the east coast and continue the mild air. It's formed a warm front. The warm front will slide through the lower part of the state of Michigan, and the storm center goes to the north, and so we stay in the mild air. And we ought to have at least a mild and moist kind of weekend, with maybe just a little cooling along about Sunday, and then warming back into the 40s for Monday and Tuesday with rain persisting. Eastern half of the United States is hardly any bad weather at all. It's like looking for penguins in Paducah until you get down in Florida. They got the storm center down in there where businessmen lie on the beach all day about how much money they make. Out here is where there is a storm, 50, 60, and 70-mile-an-hour winds, heavy snow in the mountains of Colorado and also Wyoming, and rain extending all the way back to where it becomes heavy in Oregon and Washington. And their town, I think the state flower in Oregon and Washington should be the sponge. In the state of Michigan, CL stands for cloudy skies. The temperature's not cold. Excuse me just a minute. But chilly. Combination of cloudy and chilly, kind of weather is what we've got. As for temperatures, 35 degrees, a little town called Hulbert. Hulbert's the warm spot in the Upper Peninsula. Another little town called Hardscrabble that's right, Hardscrabble, 30 degrees right now. A little town so small, they don't have a sanitation department. A woman comes in twice a week. 30 degrees is what it is at Pinconning right now, too. While the warmest in the Lower Peninsula, 35 degrees. Guess where? At the weather station at City Airport. The official temperature, 33 degrees. That's 1 degree on the Celsius scale. The warmest we got today was 35 degrees at 2:41 this afternoon. 33 is what we had for a low in the city of Detroit tonight. Fog, well, it'll be patchy and not as heavy as it has been, but fog nonetheless, and visibility is only 4 miles. On the lakes and at the airport, southerly winds on the morrow between 10 and 20 miles per hour. In Acapulco, senor y senorita, 85, 85 degrees. Here in the city of Detroit right now, 33 degrees, 35 at City Airport, and it looks like this in terms of the forecast. A foggy morning, and then a gray afternoon. A low tonight around 32, maybe some sprinkles of rain late tomorrow night, but we're not too sure. A high for tomorrow, 40 degrees, upper barometer rising at sea level, relative humidity at 89%, southeasterly winds. How quickly are they moving? 7 miles an hour, Wesley, 7 miles.
Thank you, Sonny. The Israelis will apparently make some big concessions to the Egyptians at the Cairo talks. David?
And it's time to ask Joe Pellegrino how Coach Kaufman's charges are doing.
Well, we'll know tomorrow night when he makes his debut, and I guess all the basketball fans know by now that the Detroit Pistons pushed the panic button today. They fired the usual victim, the coach.
And that's our report. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We thank you for watching. Good night.
Tonight, Tom makes a painful decision on Forever Fernwood on your TV2 at 11:30.
Good evening. A report tonight that Christina Ford is filing for a legal separation from her husband, charging that Henry Ford II is planning on selling or otherwise disposing of a substantial part of the marital estate. She has asked that he be ordered not to. Christina is also asking the court to order Ford to support her in a lifestyle to which she is accustomed but cannot provide for herself.
Live from your electronic news center, TV2 News. With Joe Glover, Robbie Timmons, JoJo Shuddy McGregor with the weather, Charlie Neal on sports, and the award-winning TV2 News team.
Troy police have found the body of Pompey Lee Funderburg in his...
General Motors is reportedly going to have to shell out millions of dollars because Chevrolet engines were put in 1977 Oldsmobiles, Buicks, and Pontiacs. It's expected GM will give each auto owner a $200 cash payment and an additional warranty. There are about 100,000 eligible auto owners, which adds up to about $20 million in rebates and $20 million more in warranties.
A little bit of dancing going on tonight between the Pistons and the Pacers, and the Pacers got the best of it.
Yes, indeed. In fact, Joe, the Pistons made Bob Kaufman's debut as a pro coach. Other than that, I'll tell you, they've lost a couple of games this year that really they should have won.
Okay, maybe next year.
Yeah,
thank you,
that's what we've been hearing for a while.
Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin in Washington tonight. His talk.
I was out driving around earlier tonight, and the roads are a little slippery in spots.
I was also out there driving around and slipping and sliding, and the temperature is not even below freezing yet. It's right around 35, but we do have a slight breeze in the air, so that's what's freezing things up. But let's speak about the good things. First of all, we did reach a high of 45 degrees today. That didn't break any records. Actually, it was only 43, I'm sorry, 43 degrees, but still didn't break any records. The low so far today has been 29, and we aren't expected to get down below that tonight. No rain or snow recorded. The Merck Index measured 49, a light amount of dirt in the air. Right now, under some clear skies, the temperature is 35 degrees, 2 degrees Celsius. We have east winds at 12 miles per hour. The barometer steady at 29.92 inches, and the relative humidity 85%. In today's satellite picture, cloudy skies once again across the northern portion of the country from the Great Lakes region all the way out to the Pacific Northwest, with the heaviest clouds blanketing the northern plains and the central plains, where the low pressure system is at its strongest. There's some high clouds over the southeast, while low clouds and some fog linger over the lower Mississippi Valley. And that western half of the country has certainly been getting some rough weather, but now with this low pressure system in the central plains right about here in northeastern Kansas, the central portion of the country is getting its share of rain, freezing rain, snow, and some strong winds. And those strong winds aren't only causing problems with the snow in the mountains of Colorado and Wyoming and blowing that snow around and causing it to drift, but it's also raising some huge clouds of dust in the southern plains, and it's limiting visibility to less than 1/8 of a mile. This entire storm system continues to move north-northeastward, and once it gets to the Great Lakes region, it'll bring along with it all that moisture and the wind, but we will keep those mild temperatures throughout the rest of the weekend. Speaking of mild temperatures, well, extremely warm temperature right down here in Alice, Texas, 90 degrees. That was the hot spot. And right here in Evanston, Wyoming, they had 13 degrees, which was the coldest temperature for today across the nation. Tomorrow around the state, we can expect it to be cloudy and windy in both peninsulas. A little bit of rain activity in the western half of the upper peninsula, and we'll get some rain by late afternoon or evening around the Detroit area. Mild temperatures once again, and the winds will be out of that warm southeast at about 20 miles per hour. And for tonight, around the immediate Detroit area, increasing cloudiness, a little bit of patchy fog and some haze. The low will be around 32 degrees. Tomorrow will be cloudy and windy with a high near 48. But we could get some showers by late afternoon or evening. And the outlook, a very wet one with a chance of rain all 3 days, but the temperatures will stay mild, so at least that's the good news. They'll stay right around the low to mid-40s, and that's kind of weird to be saying 8 days before Christmas.
Yeah, it's certainly not the kind of weather we like to see over a weekend, though, with all
No,
that
all
rain.
those skiers, they're going to have to stay home and get the rest of their Christmas shopping done, I guess.
They have
It'd be
kind
great for
of
shopping.
lost their momentum. The folks at Adams Junior High in Dearborn called, said they wanted to give you a special thanks for your appearance there today.
Oh, did they?
Said they really enjoyed
Isn't
it.
that sweet? They were really a good group of kids out there, as well as George Gavrilla, if you're watching, their teacher.
Thank you, JoJo. Frustration over trying to start a car almost lands a man in jail. We'll have that story as your TV2 News moves right along. The movie C.C. and Company, starring Joe Namath and Anne Margaret, and that will be on the morning following MASH here on your TV2.
Early morning.
Yes, that's it for your TV2 News for this evening. For JoJo Shuddy McGregor, Robbie Timmons, Charlie Neal, I'm Joe Glover. Have a good night, a good weekend. Be sure to join us in about a half an hour for News Break here on your TV2. Now here is Forever Friendly.
Just about forever in front of their television sets. And Mitchell Krause has a report on something new in the television industry, which may give those people and others more of a choice of what to watch.
This performance of the movie Jaws is not coming from film or tape at a television station miles away. It's coming from just a few feet away, from a phonograph-like device connected by wire to an ordinary television set, much as those popular video games are attached. Inside is a disc that looks like an LP record. But the disc has no grooves, and its one playing side contains 30 minutes worth of picture as well as sound. The picture got there through the use of a laser beam, which is a narrow but intense beam of light. In making the record, the laser etches the surface of the metal disc with millions of bits of electronic information. Inside the playback unit is another laser that translates the pictures and sound into a TV image. The video disc system, which the manufacturer plans to test market before the end of the year, also has the capability of slow motion, fast forward, fast reverse, and stop action. And it's also possible to find any of the up to 56,000 separate frames of still picture material which can be recorded on a single disc. The Magnavox player is expected to sell for about $500, and the records will go for $10 up. But there won't be any mass distribution until next year at the earliest, and that could mean trouble for the video disc developers. Right now, consumers can buy home video tape machines to attach to their television sets. By this coming Christmas, there will be about 15 different videotape brands available, priced at $1,000 or less. Though more expensive than the disc system, the tape units have one big feature not available in the disc system. Tape units can record any program right off the home TV set, and the tape cassettes can be erased and reused.
I don't think the disc will have much of a future, mainly because you can't do your own recording. And once one has played the material so many times, they don't want to see it anymore.
What do you use a disc for after that?
A Frisbee.
The co-developers of the Laserdisc, Magnavox and MCA, are gambling big money that there's room in the marketplace for both systems.
If you go back to the comparison in the audio field, you find the desirability of the LP records. It's not just because they're thin and they're round, it's because you actually can buy them at a lower price and you can buy the tape pre-recorded programming. There's an economic advantage in the video disc which can't be overcome by tape anytime for many years.
Magnavox isn't alone in the video disc field. RCA is working on its own system, one they say will be cheaper, but they're not ready yet to sell it. All of this means that regardless of who wins the disc tape war, there's a big battle shaping up, which can only mean lower consumer prices eventually for these latest video accessories. Mitchell Krause, CBS News, New York.
Now 7.5 minutes before the hour.